Ah, Hoyoverse, a company I am pretty sure is run by monkeys. And to make sure those monkeys are extra dumb, the way probably poisoned the company's water supply with copious amounts of drugs, because there is no another way to explain this level of incompetency. If you're not aware of what is happening right now, allow me to explain. So, Honkai Star Rail just went through its 3.0 version, and with every major patch, people get excited. In fact, more excited than Minecraft YouTubers when they pass through the kindergarten. So, what is the problem with this version? Well, everything. New quest is 7 hours long, but only 7 hours if you skip it. If you play it through its entirety, it's 10 hours plus. The story is mega yap fest, where basically nothing happens and there are no consequences. Power creep is rampaging through entire game like a dog who just broke through the leash. The rewards are getting smaller and harder to acquire, while the time you need to collect them, as well as the amount of grinding you need, is longer and longer. You see, as a day one player, until recently I was able to clear every single game mode with little to no difficulty. And Hoyoverse was like, hey players, do you like inflation? And inflated the HP of enemies to such ridiculous extents that it is impossible to clear them without that new shiny 5-star or significant amount of grinding and eidolons. Unfortunately, some people with no intelligence, Mr. Pocky, who think and blame the players because they should pull smart. If they did that, the power creep would not exist. Fortunately for me, I am mentally strong enough to resist that honey-covered Hoyoverse cock that many content creators have shoved so deep up that place where sun doesn't shine to the point where their intelligence gets affected. So let me hit you with some wisdom. Have you noticed, for example, how in the last couple of rotations in Memory of Chaos, we only managed to get bosses with ability to stall you as long as possible? For example, we have Svarog, who can take one of your party members, ice enemies that can freeze you, puppets that can stun you, wolves, flying woman, giant robot, and every single one of them has one thing in common. And that is that they are specifically made to stall you as long as possible, to the point where you actually need 6 or more cycles just to clear one part of Memory of Chaos. And have you also noticed that every single one of these bosses doesn't have any mechanics or weaknesses that you can exploit for your benefit? And Hoyoverse is actually capable of designing good bosses. For example, you have that Master Chef dinosaur, and if you hit it enough times, not only it will get stunned, it will also receive a huge amount of damage. Or those 3 puppets that if you manage to break at the same time, you would take a percentage of their health away from them. But the way was like, okay people, gather around, we need to find a new way to milk players for money. You, unpaid intern, do you have any ideas? Well, what if we created fun bosses with fun mechanics that players can explore, where instead of being punished for not having enough DPS, they would be punished for not understanding bosses' mechanics. Look at this funny guy, everyone! Hey you, junkie on the street, do you have any idea how we can milk our players for money? Well, what about if you increase the HP of your bosses 10 times? Genius! Yeah, that is probably what happened. But have you ever stopped to consider why doesn't the skip button exist? It's actually pretty simple. It's because it puts the pressure on the developers to actually develop a good story. And the story is needed because it engages the players to spend money and pull for that new character. So by skipping the story, you're essentially telling the company, your storytelling sucks, do better. And doing better requires effort, and Hoyoverse is not known for effort. Let's for example compare Wuthering Waves to Honkai Star Rail real quick. In the Wuthering Waves, story goes something like this. Hello Rover, my name is Zani and I will be your bodyguard. Let me give you a tour of Rinascita real quick. This is Pizza Tropicale, where you can taste some of the best delicacies in Rinascita. This is the city center, where you can enjoy the Carnival. And this is where the Order executes traitors, French Revolution style. And Honkai Star Rail is more like, oh, did you just see that new character we just released? Now pull for that character, you Hoyo cock. Yeah, I know in which game I'm more interested in. And also, I have made the conclusion that Hoyoverse actually follows a very simple formula. Release the game, make the 1.0 amazing to hook the players, then release bunch of characters from that region with different kits and different playstyles, make them fall in love with the characters and the world, then slowly power creep them and kick them from the story, ruin the endgame and threaten every single creator who speaks ill of you, while also making sure to give special treatment to certain narcissistic creators with huge egos so they defend you and lash against their audience and creators who are against you. And while they are arguing, they will be too busy to notice all the game-breaking features you have added last minute. Then make a new game and force those players to go to that new game, make sure that that new game has all the best optimizations and things players wanted to hook them, and then begin the cycle once again and make billions. And after all of this, I am not even sure that I am interested in Honkai Star Rail anymore. Not only is the story so boring that I want to smash my monitor, but it's also necessary to go through it so you can engage with new gameplay and new areas. And after playing Wuthering Waves, I have realized just how horrible it is to build the characters. I pulled Herta for examples because I like her. But building her is such a nightmare, because you basically have to farm materials, farm relics, farm for their talents, farm for the essential materials, and many other things. But in Wuthering Waves, because I am always farming echoes, by the time where I actually start building the character, I am 50% done, which incentivizes me to build more characters and try out new playstyles. And also, can we touch a little bit on the animations? Billion-dollar company, everyone. The thing unfortunately that bothers me the most is that power creep, because I will have to skip multiple characters that I am actually interested in, so I can get signature light cones or eidolons for the characters that I already have, because it's impossible to finish the game without them. And you can scream skill issue as much as you want, but it doesn't change the fact that it's happening. And it will continue happening until we actually punish the company by punishing their wallets. And I know that it's really hard, because what would you do with your money if you didn't spend it on these gacha characters? But by actually disengaging with the game, you are going to bring a significant change, just like in ZZZ, when once everybody quit and they were forced to change everything about the game. But that is also a Hoyoverse game, so it will be ruined in the future, probably. That is all I wanted to say. Subscribe for more cringe, and I will see you again where Hoyoverse actually improves as a company. So probably never.
Don't you give them up, it's all